David, thank you so much for being here. This is your late night debut.
Yeah.
Wow. Hi, I'm Jimmy Fallon. This is David Dobrik, and we are here. You also did one video that's gotten like 14 million hits.
I hear you.
I'm wondering if Dobrik. I mean, they all say that if he didn't have the money and he didn't have the fame and he didn't have the power, they would still be there. But it's hard.
We're talking about David Dobrik.
Ever since misconduct allegations surrounding David Dobrik's past videos came to light.
Who's ever associated with someone that hit you in the head with a crane?
New bombshell allegations against David Dobrik and Dom's
kind of are misconstruing like my own sexuality and how I feel about participating in something that he didn't have my consent for.
Much of the YouTuber's digital empire has come crashing down.
I said to you once, like, this idea that sensationalism equals more views, and that perpetuating cycle invariably ends in disaster. And that's exactly what happened to you, David.
David Dobrik had quite the run on the internet, one of the most influential creators over the last 10 years. Some would say he was a poster boy, big money brand deals, Hollywood connections, and a lifestyle many young creators dream of. Living his career, free of controversy until his first major one in 2021.
People were wondering like, oh, well, why are you kind of coming out, 2-3 years later, like.
And when it rains, it pours. A crew with a cult-like mentality with David at the center. This never-ending pursuit of viral moments leading to hedonistic lawlessness. A pretty questionable moral code with a yearn for more money, more power, more everything, breeding a mindset bordering psychopathy. It took multiple essay allegations, bullying to the brink of depression, and the near death of a friend due to sheer recklessness for the internet to have enough and finally rein in this entire operation. I've trawled through videos, scoured through articles to break down each controversy, but we'll get into that later. Let's first set the scene. Our story begins in 1996 in Košice, Slovakia. David, born to a Hungarian father and a Slovakian mother, grew up with 3 rowdy siblings in his house. Life in Slovakia in the late 90s was a period of transition. After the fall of communism in 1989 and the subsequent dissolution of Czechoslovakia in 1993, Slovakia was finding its footing as a new independent nation. Economically, it was a mixed bag. There were some new opportunities as the country opened up to foreign markets, but also challenges like rising unemployment and inflation. Many people found themselves struggling as state-owned enterprises closed down or were restructured. And while it's unclear exactly why they moved, it's likely due to the higher wages and perceived lack of adversity in the West. Either way, at a young age, David and his family found himself in the US of A. They chose to settle in Chicago, Illinois, a new country, always scary, new laws, new norms, new traditions, but all indicators point to David having a largely normal childhood. He played tennis in high school, got decent grades, but when he finished high school, he was faced with what he saw as an ultimatum: go to college or use his only $1,600 to move to LA and pursue content creation with a friend. Tough one. I wonder which of them. The Hollywood dream isn't the instantaneous nosedive into stardom many would presume it to be. He was still a young kid in a big city, LA being one of the most expensive cities in the world. He needed money and he needed it fast. Vine was the talk of the town in 2013. 6-second looping videos that were short and digestible. For some big creators, the likes of King Batch and Logan Paul, this was their origin story. But there was a problem. You couldn't monetize directly from Vine, a big issue a lot of people had with the platform. Unlike YouTube's AdSense or the TikTok Creator Rewards program, there was genuinely no way to profit directly from your Vines. But David had an idea. He'd repost sports Vines to his account whilst crediting the original creator, essentially boosting their account to a wider audience. For a fee, of course. Through this method, David started making a couple thousand a month. It wasn't much, he wasn't living lavish, but he was getting by. But wait a second, this story could have ended there. He lives off being a reviner, and that's it, the story's done. But come on, he knew, everyone knew, this was never the long-term goal. So he would soon make a decision and pick up the camera.
Doctor, what are the results? Have you ever heard of cancer? Yeah. Okay, great. Can you explain it to me?
David started making his own Vines, and put simply, he was funny. His punchlines felt natural, and it was like his humor was literally built for Vine. He started to go viral fast, and within a year, he had a full-fledged fan base. Connections to other Viners like Gabi Hanna, Eliza Koshy. Keep her in mind. Now, David was a pretty big and established Viner, but remember what I said about monetizing Vines? Yeah, frankly, content creators on Vine would feel inclined to move their skits to YouTube, a much more polished and perennial site that actually paid its creators.
Me? Who are you texting?
Oh, it's my bestie, Christian.
Oh. Text him a lot.
Yeah, he's coming over.
Great.
Hello?
Christian! Hey!
How are you?
Oh.
Hey.
And while YouTube was going from strength to strength, Vine was losing its grip on its creators. At first, David wanted nothing to do with it. He didn't want to venture to the uncharted territory that was YouTube. He thought it felt inauthentic and soulless. Then he started getting close with Vine star Liza Koshy, and I'm not talking friendly close. But let's park that for a minute. Liza just started vlogging on YouTube, an untapped video format in which the creator just records their day and or speaks their mind on camera.
Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Liza, coming at you. Oh, watch out. Alright, I guess it's time I tell you that I just got my nails done. Fresh mani-pedi.
And I think they look great with my new Apple Watch Nike Plus.
So while my hands look so aesthetically pleasing, I thought I would take the time to make yet another
Artsy, aesthetic, sexy, blah.
Okay, yeah, that was weird. Hope it didn't tick you off.
Literally, a video blog. Whatever the clever phonetics meant, David wanted in, and for that reason, he decided to make the switch from Vine to YouTube.
I'll post again Wednesday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I'm gonna post all the time. So like the video, subscribe, tweet me at David Dobrik.
Not completely, he was still posting on Vine and doing vlogs on YouTube simultaneously, but soon enough, it would become apparent that in retrospect, it's not like he had a choice to leave Vine entirely.
The video sharing app Vine will soon have its last loop, with the announcement that the app owned by Twitter will be shutting down sometime in the upcoming months.
2016 rolled around and Vine was gone. The trance it once had on the youth disappeared. Just like that. And while there was a bunch of mind-numbing legal jargon involved, to break it down in simpler terms, it wasn't profitable and it had to go. The result? A full-scale metaphorical social media invasion saw an unprecedented amount of Viners switch to YouTube. Former Viners like Logan Paul, Amanda Cerny, Jake Paul all found themselves at the mercy of the YouTube algorithm. Instead of short 6-second videos, they had prolonged skits and compilations. Instead of using an iPhone 5C to record, they had to buy cameras. It was a completely different ballgame and it needed adjusting to. David had little problem doing so, and with the help of his new girlfriend Liza, he had already been posting vlogs for about a year before Vine shut down. And yeah, other people were making vlogs, but not like David. His group of friends are what really made it feel fresh. They were energetic, funny, and perfectly obnoxious. Coupled with the fact he literally transferred his Vine humor over to YouTube, his fanbase grew on the site immensely. As his fanbase grew, so did his connections, more celebrities, more punchlines, more energy. He established himself as one of the bigger creators on YouTube, boasting an impressive but not otherworldly 1 million subscribers.
So I know a couple people that work there. Good to see you, man.
Not otherworldly for now at least. The truth is 2016 was just the beginning. He had no plans of slowing down. 2017 proving to be an even bigger year than 2016. He launched merch that sold like a god church. He made more vlogs, generated more views, more subscribers, and in 2018 he did break up with Liza, but hey, he received his diamond play button for reaching 10 million subscribers. Okay, if I'm being honest, Liza and David's breakup was quite influential. They were a power couple, and many fans relied on the effectiveness of their joint humor to make them laugh. And now that that was over, it felt like the end of an era. The announcement video of their breakup went completely viral, and the whole world saw David brought to his knees for the first time. For the first time.
How is it?
Single.
How is it? Shut up. What's up guys, welcome back to my main channel. I'm here with one of my ex-girlfriends, Liza.
One of them.
Yeah. Go for it. Take the floor. It's your idea.
Okay.
Today's gonna be a different kind of video. We're gonna be doing the whisper challenge. Now,
Hey, we're not together anymore.
Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, that was so hard. David and I aren't together anymore.
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
In the short term, this was an issue, but long term and into 2019, David just kept going from strength to strength.
First of all, your numbers. I mean, 8 billion views and 20 million followers is obviously so impressive.
Featuring as a voice actor in movies, launching a podcast, and even appearing on the Jimmy Fallon show, David was literally blurring the lines between YouTuber and celebrity.
China has identified the cause of the mysterious new virus.
Coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
There are fears a rapidly spreading virus has reached Australia.
This is a rapidly emerging situation where there is not a cause for alarm.
The first US case has been detected.
There's confirmation the coronavirus has reached Australia.
China is urging its citizens not to travel abroad as it struggles to contain the virus.
We will be standing up Christmas Island as a quarantine area.
Foreign nationals coming from China are now banned from entering the country.
In 2020, we all know what happened. The C word had us all locked indoors. And when David's content was primarily based on meeting up with his friends and interacting with them, the uploads got less frequent, his growth plateaued, and he started exploring other business ventures. But going into 2021, he'd have to brace himself, because his empire was soon going to be toppled. From within.
I've never seen someone as adored and loved as you were loved. In the aftermath of this scandal, of the cancellation, like, it became so fashionable to fucking hate you.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, like, if you could rewind to vlog 1,
okay,
like, what would you do differently?
To understand how his issues started, you need to first meet the Vlog Squad. This wasn't a set group like the Sidemen or Team 10, more an interchangeable group of friends who appeared as recurring characters in David's vlogs. Jason Nash, Dom Zaglatis, Seth Francois. Now, if you went on YouTube and around this kind of space in 2017, you may not know who any of these people are, and that's fine, just keep them in mind for the time being. In LA, trying to make it big on the internet, you can become desperate, and the elites operate like cults. They gain your trust, you become indoctrinated, and soon you'll be doing just about anything for the content. But every object has its breaking point, a limitation to its strength. Apply enough pressure, and it's gonna break.
In my ventures moving forward, and I made the decision to just kind of go along with it.
When Vlog Squad member Seth Francois opened up about one of David's vlogs in 2017, in 2021, it gained heaps of attention. So here's what went down. Seth was deceived by David, who ordered him to make out with Karina Kopp for a vlog. And I know I don't need to introduce her, you know who she is. you gooners know her quite well, actually. But David told Seth that she would have to be wearing some sort of latex mask while they're making out. And I'm sure you can see where this is going. Under the mask wasn't Karina Kopf, instead it was fellow Vlog Squad member Jason Nash. Seth Francois didn't realize until years later that this was a form of SA, and he was really uncomfortable with the whole thing. But if you think this couldn't get any worse, David's intention behind this whole shtick was way too sinister. Seth, the victim, hailed from a suburb of LA called Compton. The reason this is relevant is because Compton has the 8th highest crime rate in the country, and an astonishing proportion of the area lives in poverty, and opportunity is scarce. What on earth does this have to do with the prank and David Dobrik though? Well, over the years, studies have shown there's a link between homophobia and less desirable socioeconomics, meaning David knew a prank like this wouldn't do a whole lot of good for Seth's reputation back home, just taking this prank to a whole new level of messed up, bordering on sadism. Now, if you think I'm reaching here, why don't you have a listen to the man himself?
And his friends are probably going to chew him out for that for the next, like, 3-5 years of his life.
Well, as Seth tells it, the homosexuality is not so accepted in where he comes from.
Seth's from Compton.
Dudes kissing dudes is not so accepted.
Seth's from Compton, so it's like the perfect...
Like, at least straight dudes kissing straight dudes.
Literally the perfect setup. Like... a guy from Compton, and I made him make out with another older man.
It's good for Seth.
Seconds.
He would make a half-baked apology in which he committed all 3 YouTube apology sins. He failed to specify wrongdoing, turned off comments, and avoided accountability like a kid avoids going to the dentist. As a result, Seth left the Vlog Squad, and the psychopathy wasn't limited to this incident. Not at all, because not long after this, an incident would unfold involving underage girls and the worst thing imaginable. But wait, let's stick to the timeline. It's early 2021, and after the whole Seth situation, David's empire was starting to unravel. Next on his plate was an incident involving Trisha Paytas. In 2017, Jason Nash from Vlog Squad and internet personality Trisha Paytas actually started dating, and David kept up his usual activities, you know, making brass comments and scaring Trisha, who started to feature in the vlogs more because of Jason. Nothing too sinister until he took it a step too far. Jason and Trisha were staying in a hotel together, and just as they were getting a little bit intimate, David decided to sneak into the hotel room to scare Trisha. Trisha obviously didn't like this, but the video was posted anyways. But she was not going down silently, making her dislike and disdain for David and his antics publicly known. It's alleged that David subsequently coerced Jason to break up with Trisha to protect his image, but the hits just kept on coming. A woman came forward and alleged that one of David's close friends, Dirty Dom, R-worded her back in 2018. Just for context, let's talk about Dirty Dom, because he was definitely a pretty skeevy character to say the least. His gimmick in David's vlogs was that he was the sex addict's friend, the one always in tune with the dating scene and boasted an exciting sex life. But you see, it actually went deeper than that. In 2017, he was alleged to have S.A.'d personality Ali Hardesty, and in 2018, there would be a vlog featuring a group of young girls, and the way that the vlog was portrayed, it was as if they were all just having fun, with sexual but friendly jokes and innuendo. But what this particular woman came out in 2021 to say was that the girls were provided alcohol and were extremely inebriated and was subsequently R-worded by Dom. David confronted Dom about this and he claimed it was completely consensual. But after the vlog in 2018, David realized something. Everywhere Dom went, sexual allegations followed. So he ended up dropping him from the vlogs in 2019. And as aforementioned, the whole thing didn't become public until 2021 and it hit like a brick. David lost his sponsors, DoorDash, SeatGeek, and he was blacklisted by other celebrities due to the storm surrounding his name. His channel even got demonetized on YouTube. And here's where we really start to see the consequences of his actions over the last few years really starting to haunt him.
What this video isn't going to be is it's not going to be me discrediting Trisha, Kat, or any other woman involved. I'm going to be using words that may trigger some survivors, and that's just so I don't explain anything vaguely and I can explain every situation appropriately. I want to start this video off by saying I fully believe the woman who came out against Dom and said she was by him. As was reported, the next day I got consent to post the video.
Now, to his credit, this apology was pretty good. He took accountability and directly addressed most of the issues. But a few weeks after this, he would have yet another problem on his plate. A documentary called Do Not Try This at Home was posted on Vlog Squad members Jeff Wittick's YouTube channel in April 2021. The Vlog Squad was being towed by David Dobrik using an excavator. They went wakeboarding in a shallow lake during a video shoot for David Dobrik's comeback vlog. A video from Wittick's documentary showed Karina Kopp, who was also in the Vlog Squad, swinging from the line but losing her balance and almost falling. She asked to be released, but David did not do so right away, leading to her accusing him of taking things a bit too far. When it was Jeff's turn, David swung him higher than everyone else, before stopping very abruptly while he was still attached to the line, and as a result and due to the momentum, his face went smashing into the excavator. Now, this incident quite literally nearly killed him, and it required major surgery. Despite this, David never directly addressed it, and to be fair, Jeff at first didn't seem to be angry at David for the most part, even selling uncensored photos of his injury for $5 a go. This was until a few years later. In 2022, David went on a podcast and spoke about the incident, but it was the way he spoke about it that was the problem. He made it come off like he was the victim, and that above all else, he had little to no remorse for his actions. Jeff Wittick would obviously see this documentary and he wouldn't get angry. He would become irate. It was made public that David didn't even offer Jeff to pay for the surgery. Instead, he wanted to go halves on it. Jeff would subsequently file a lawsuit for $10 million, which is still ongoing to this day.